Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back or to my channel. So today we're gonna do a little get ready with me, but I mostly just want to talk. I want to like get back into YouTube, and I feel like I have to like make a video first because I've been gone for a while. And if you guys have seen, like, what's the last video I did a PR haul. I filmed that in September, I believe, or the first week of October. And before that, it was the Halloween haunted house. Definitely filmed in September because it was as soon as I got back from Italy. And I remember being like, oh yeah, we're gonna upload that in October. I literally uploaded, I think, the day before Halloween. So there's a lot to update you guys on, and there's all these questions and things like, okay, in that video for the Halloween haunted house thing, I said dog in the video, and someone's like, she already got a new dog, and I'm like, no, Niner was still around in that video. There's just a lot to like update you guys about, right? So I went to Europe. Let's start with the exciting things. I went to Europe. It was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people were kind of like confused on why I didn't vlog it. Lancome the Base Pro primer. Also, oh my god, I forgot I wanted to try this. I don't know if this is for your face, but I've seen everybody on Instagram and stuff using this. This is the Kiehl's, oh, it's sealed. The Kiehl's Creme de Horse. I'm actually not so sure what that is, but this is brand new. I went to Europe. That was a lot of fun. One of my closest friends got married in Europe in Lake Como, Italy. So that was a lot of fun. That was really beautiful. Then I ran off to London for a couple of days. Came back and had a wedding and went to Oceanside. That was a lot of fun too. I feel like there's like a lot to talk about, and I feel like I have to pinpoint like the last 7 months of my life to kind of tell you guys what I've been going through. Everything kind of intertwines in a bit, and then I asked for questions. I ended up deleting that because all the questions were about the same situation. And I was like, let me just say what I'm feeling and what I want to share. About 7 months ago, I'm trying to think of, I don't know an actual date, maybe May or April, I don't know. I was talking to a guy, and that obviously did not go well. I literally am like the worst at doing this stuff because now I laugh about it. I'm gonna go with the Smashbox Always On foundation. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm very excited to try it. I don't know if this is gonna be a match for me because she's looking a little dark. So I was talking to a guy back then, and things slowly ended. I mean, we started talking November of last year, which is crazy that we're back in November again. I'm not gonna leave any hate or any slander. I realized how mature I am, and maybe I'm just like over the whole situation, because I know that in some videos, like when me and my friends are making like get readies with me, like we kind of like just like teased at the idea and like left things out, and we were just like being funny. That obviously did not go well. Did I go insane? I don't think I went insane. I didn't go crazy. Come around May, when all that happened, you know, all's well that ends well, right? A lot of people knew about that situation and would always ask me about it. And then whenever I made like comments like I'm single, I'm going out, or like this guy was cute, why did I actually like that foundation? So I know a lot of people wanted to know what happened. I realized that like maybe the guy who was promising you the things that caused his divorce was not the guy for me. You know what I mean? This is a Juvia's Place concealer. This is my first time trying this, which I do know that a lot of people do leave their relationship for a reason, and then the next one, that's what they want. It's just like a cycle, and that's a thing that happens. I was very hurt over the situation because how could I not? I feel like I invested a lot of time. It's like 6 months of my life that I feel like I invested into this person, and I'm somebody who, like, even if it's just like a talking stage or like you're only casually dating, like I don't like to focus on more than one person, if I'm being so honest. Now I'm a villain, so it's different. No, I'm just kidding. But the funny story is that when somebody does that to you, you get to make up the scenario on what happened, because that's just what happened. So every time somebody would ask me, because obviously like my close friends knew, I'm trying to think if they all knew that he was divorced. I think for the majority, a lot of them didn't know, but my favorite thing to tell everybody was that he went back to his ex-wife. He lied about a whole bunch of things. Why are you lying about something that's so unimportant? Like if I asked something, I'll never forget that we were literally sitting in front of each other, I asked him about a certain thing in his life, and he like took a minute to answer me, and I'm just sitting there like, why'd you take another bite of your food? Why won't you just answer my question? Like, and then he like completely lied about that whole situation. So literally just me and Niner like the whole time. I feel like I'm gonna cry because I miss my dog like crazy, which I will get to that. Told myself I didn't want to be that person who like cries on the internet, but like it was literally like me just like sad, like crying. Are my tears gonna be setting powder right now? Because they need to stop. Me crying, and my dog's just like staring at me. I feel like dogs just know when you're like sad and stuff. So I feel like he was just like, what is going on, queen? Why are we crying? You know what? It was a lot of fun. We had a fun summer still, regardless of me being heartbroken, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, I don't really think my heart was fully invested into something like this for it to be heartbroken, but you know, your feelings are still hurt. So me and Niner, we went to Orange County and like upper San Diego, and we had a lot of fun. We traveled a lot, so I feel like Niner did have a really good last 6 months of his life, because I feel like he was all I was like attached to. I feel like I'm like jumping the gun and talking about Niner, and I really want to stop talking about him, so give me a second. So we had a lot of fun. We went to Oceanside to go see my cousins and my nieces and my nephew. I love that I took him with me. We got to go to the beach. He loves the beach. 4th of July camping came around. Me and my whole family went camping. We went one weekend just with my friends, just for the day, and then with like the whole family we went. Niner went with me. It was so much much fun. I feel like he really enjoyed it. He got to go in the river and it was just like a lot of fun, like just going everywhere with me. I genuinely feel like I have such a great last like 6 months of his life. We're gonna take this bronzer from Physicians Formula. He went everywhere with me, you know, because if I was out for too long, I would take him with me. Just have so much fun. And then when I went to Europe, like he hung out with my aunt and they have a dog that he loved so much. His name's Stout. It's because they're like the same ages. He's a black lab, so like we literally got them around the same time. This Makeup Forever blush in Whenever Rose. I think I did try this one already. But first, I want to go in with this, which is Transcend from Rare Beauty. So we had a lot of fun. I started to go out a little bit more because I was obviously still sad and my friends were not letting me like stay in bed. That was like one thing for sure. Like shout out to my friends because they were not having it, because I almost didn't even go camping at all, like to like begin with. I was just like, I mean, no camping. I haven't been in so many years, but I'm really happy I went. So I'm glad that I went camping. My friends kind of forced me to go the first weekend. That's all I was gonna do, and then I went the whole time with like the family. But yeah, I genuinely don't know what I would have done without the people that I have in my life. Everyone would just kind of show up here and hang out with me for a bit. I got to like frolic around Europe with my best friends, and my best friends that I have here would like come and have sleepovers with me. I used this and I wanted to see if it worked good. Ooh, okay. But it's just great to see who's really there for you when you're going through a hard time and you're not trying to express that you're going through a hard time. Like now I look back and I'm like, that's so silly. I was so naive. But like it takes time to heal. But I also had this weird like make every guy the bad guy in my life after that. Like not being able to trust guys. And I started talking to this other guy who was like such a sweet guy. There was nothing wrong with that. It just didn't go anywhere. These what if things that I was projecting from like that last guy. And I was like, maybe I just take a step back from dating. Did I also become the villain? Maybe a little bit. Anyways, let's fast forward a little bit. I had a great summer, had a great beginning of fall. Come October, which was probably the worst month. Ignore this glare, but I'm just gonna keep going because it's like coming and going. I'm just using this palette that I just got, so we'll see how we feel about it. I feel like KKW is not a thing anymore. October is my birthday month. If you guys didn't know that, it's okay. I went to that wedding in Oceanside, which was so much fun. Slowly and surely, it became the worst month ever. My grandpa was really sick, which is why my parents were in Central America. And unfortunately, he did pass away the night before my birthday. The day of my birthday, I had birthday plans. It was the first time, well, second time that I feel like I actually had plans for my birthday. One was in 2020 of COVID, of course. And then, I had plans. My friends were gonna all go to dinner and go to Topgolf. Unfortunately, the morning of my birthday, had to rush Niner to the hospital. He was not doing good. He had to rush him to the emergency vet. I called his vet. They were like, you know, I first thought like I would take him to his vet, and they were like, sorry, nobody's here, unfortunately. So like, you have to take him to the ER, which was fine. Kind of messaged everyone. I was like, hey guys, I have to take Niner to the emergency vet. We're not taking his situation serious there at all, which is crazy of the amount of money that I spent there, and they like did not help us till he actually passed out. And then they were like, oh shit, something's wrong. So they took him in. I don't really want to talk about like the whole logistics and story of it all, but he didn't come home that night, and I was so sad. And everyone's like, well, we still want to celebrate your birthday. Like, we're not just gonna leave you home alone. Everyone just kind of came over here. Really sweet. I spent my whole day crying. Like, I was on FaceTime with my mom while she's at my grandpa's funeral, and it's like this weird thing where everything is going wrong at the same exact time. Like, she had to step out of the funeral. It's like possibly have to say goodbye to Niner through FaceTime because it was really bad. Niner in the morning, just have him on IVs and stuff. Like, you have to take him out to this other hospital. That place helped him a lot, but I just kind of felt like it was more like a holding situation, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to just like go around and talk about the whole situation. I remember talking to my mom on the phone and I was like, you have to come home. Like, think about it in like a person's aspect. When you're in a hospital and somebody's hooked up to IVs and things like that, like when they're at that point when they are so weak, you can't just disconnect them, you know? Like, so I felt like, was that hospital bill so much money? Absolutely. But at that point, it's like, it's your child. So you're like, oh, like I know that people get so mad when people compare pets to kids, and I know it's not the same, but I've never had kids, so to me this is like my child. Now this whole time that he's in the hospital, they are running all these tests. He ended up being at 3 different hospitals. No one came to a conclusion on what happened to him, unfortunately. It's one of those things that it's like, there was no, like, what was the cause of any of this? I was alone with Niner at one point, and I looked at him and I was like, Mom's coming home. I feel like he looked at me and he like understood, and he got so much better overnight. It was like insane. Like, even the doctor's like, I don't know how he got so much better. And I know there's like that saying where people say that when someone's gonna die, they like have like that last day of so much energy, and I feel like that's genuinely what happened with him. Like, they literally let him leave that hospital. So when I saw that overnight change, I was super hopeful. I was like, F it, all the money that I spent was worth it. But then with her, we took him to another hospital because he started to not do that well, so we took him to his regular vet hospital. They have a hospital there too. I don't want to talk much more about it, but basically they gave us all these medications and all these other things. But at night he came home, and the next morning, like at like 6 a.m., he passed away here. It was really hard. I almost knew it was gonna happen just because he just looked so different. And it just reminded me of when I had my old dog. I just feel like you can kind of tell when it's gonna get to that, especially if you've dealt with it before. And it was really sad. I really think he was genuinely holding on to see my mom. And like, I've never seen a dog understand something so clearly, like when I said she was coming home. And I just feel like he had like that one last whirlwind of like excitement. There's so much more to the story that I'm like missing points to. I loved that little shit with all my life, especially these last like 6 months where I just feel like I was going through it. That dog understood what I was going through. But unfortunately, Niner did pass away, which does not feel real still to me. I don't know how to explain it. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, like I have to go do this, I have to go do that. And he was on a schedule, even though that night was just as traumatizing. But this is like the first time that I like talked about it, just because I feel like it was just so traumatizing. I can't even talk about it with people. Does that make sense? And it's like, I feel like a part of me just doesn't think it's real, so that's why I don't talk about it. Like when people ask, I'm like, oh, I'm okay. Like, do you want another pet? I'm like, absolutely never in my life. So many people were asking me that, and that's one of the questions that I saved. I'm trying to see what mascara I want to use. Which one's waterproof, because I can't be using just a regular mascara. I'm gonna use the Reyes from Milk Makeup. But yes, I did not get a new dog, which I know some people did think that. I definitely did not. And I'm currently not, no. I don't want to say that I'm not dating. I just don't want to make dating a priority. It's like a game when you're dating where you like try to one up somebody, and I just like don't have the time for like, if you're not going to talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you. And if the conversation is boring, I'm going to stop talking to you. And I genuinely feel like that unless you're obsessed with me, I probably don't want to date you. Like that's it for updates. This is the Makeup Forever Lippy in Anywhere Caffeine. I did want to answer a couple of questions. Okay, first one is, how do you get over a situationship? Well, you get under another guy, alright? I'm kidding, guys, but honestly, not bad idea. Anyways, I know how I reacted to what I went through, so like I feel like giving any form of advice, like people aren't gonna listen if they want to. I kind of want to put this on my lips. Is that bad? Not the worst. I didn't love that, but I also didn't hate it. I feel like a little gloss over it though. Why do I kind of like that? I just feel like you have to take time to get over something and not try to jump into anything immediately, because when you do that, I feel like you just still reflect on things that happened in that past relationship or situationship. Think about all the things that they did wrong, like including like what ended that. Like you just realize like this person really ain't shit because of what they did. I feel like to me, unfortunately, it took a lot of sad things that happened in my life to be like, I was sad over this boy, because that's what he was. He was a boy, he was not a man. Anyway, okay, I meant to say that as in like he was super immature for what he did, but this guy was older than me, I swear. And everyone's asking me if I'm gonna get a new pet, and unfortunately I do not see myself getting a new pet. I know that like I was at this point where I was like, I never want another dog in my life, but I'm sure one day when I have kids, I want them to experience having a pet. I was telling Olivia that I was like, when your nieces and nephews ask for dogs, I was like, they're not getting one. You know what, I'm gonna add a little bit of this JLo lip balm just like over this, so it gives like a glossy texture. Okay, and I feel like I was telling everyone that I was like, when I have kids and they come running off like, my mom won't give me a dog, don't you dare. But I feel like I remember me being that little and wanting a dog every Christmas, like on the Santa list. It's all we asked for was a dog, and then one year we got a dog. So like Princess gave me the happiest childhood ever, so I would love, and Niner gave me my best adulthood ever, you know? Like I feel like every decade I had a dog. So now that we're in a new decade, it's not happening. I feel like dogs are wonderful, and I would love to experience that one day with like kids, but it's just a lot. And don't come at me with like, treat a dog like a dog, because I thought that's how it was going to be this time around, but I definitely financially spent way more money on Niner than I ever did Princess, and she was like a really sick dog towards the end. But it's hard. Like I feel like you really have to be financially stable, which thank God I don't want to say I am, but you know, I made it through. We're gonna side eye those credit card bills for a second. I travel a lot, and obviously I have my parents and everyone who would always help with Niner, and I would also take him everywhere that I possibly could. Like he's been on more planes than me, because my parents took him to Central America like 3 years in a row, and they didn't take me. I think he even went to Costa Rica, now that I'm thinking about it, and they didn't take me. They bring so much joy, and oh my god, I do want to share with you guys one crazy story, and then that'll be the last thing I talk about. And then you guys are gonna be like, please don't make a video for like another 7 months. The day after Niner passed away, or 2 days after that, I'm not so sure. It was in the span of that weekend. Marisol was spending the night. We had just DoorDashed food, and the ring goes off, and I'm like, oh, like that was so fast for our food. Run towards the door, and it's a dog at the door. And the second I open the door, this dog comes racing into my house. And he's just so excited. I'm like, Mom, there's a dog in here. Like, what is going on? And Marisol and my mom are going crazy over this dog. Like, they're just so happy. The dog was just so happy and joyful. Like, obviously, it's not the same breed the Niner was, but his eyes just kind of remind me of Niner. He has a 49er collar on, which was, like, insane. And I just felt like it was like Niner coming to say, like, you know, I'm doing good, I'm fine. We just felt like it was like a sign from Niner, like, I'm doing good. Immediately call the owner on the collar and they're not picking up and they're like decline, like, can I call you back? I'm like, no, call me right now. And then I talked to the girl and I'm like, I just found your dog. She's like, oh my God, how did he get out? Like, it's so crazy. He lives super far away from us. So it was just crazy how he came to our door and like she came to get him. And it was just like, he brought so much joy for us at that moment. And then we were kind of explaining to her what was going on. And then her mom was like, oh my God, we have to go let them see him. So he came to visit a couple of days ago. And I have the ring footage camera, but I can't show it because of privacy issues. But I opened the door and like the lady's holding his leash and he gets out of the leash and like jumps towards me. And it's just like the sweetest reaction ever, and it just like brought me so much joy. And I'm like, I do want another dog. I do. Like in that moment I was like, I do and I will one day, just not right now. And I just started thinking about like dog's purpose because he like was crying and he wanted to come inside. Now we're here. It's November 14th. I had jury duty today. Okay, so government do not come for me. I rescheduled it, guys. I just could not. But I don't know where life's gonna take me right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the holidays. Maybe I'll fly out to go see my dad. I miss my dad a lot. I also don't know if I really want to do that, but I miss him. You know, as much as like sad things have happened lately, I have been so much happier till my birthday and all that happened. I felt like September was such a good month and the beginning of October was so good to me. Like I genuinely just felt like so relieved and happier. I literally think Niner was like, oh, she's good now. Like, I wasn't gonna leave my girl alone while she was going through it. The last #1 question that people were asked, there were so many other questions, but I'm gonna save those for another video because I talked a lot in this video, is will I be doing Vlogmas this year? I don't know yet. What I will say is I love the way I did it last year, that I did like weekly vlogs for Vlogmas, so I might do that. But I know I will not be vlogging every day. I can't do that. But I do videos like on TikTok. If you guys are on TikTok, you guys are missing out because I literally just like post vlogs, clips, everything that I possibly can. But I do want to vlog more on YouTube because I feel like those are the videos that I sit down in my living room and watch. Like, I think like a weekly vlog each week will like be nice because I'll obviously do something every week. I do love doing makeup videos, so those are all usually on TikTok. So if there's anything you guys want to see on YouTube, please let me know. This video was so long, but just know that I'm good. I have been sad, obviously. I'm sad over things that are worth being sad about, which is such a difference than being sad over things that weren't worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a lot. I love you guys. And just genuinely, the one form of advice that I will leave you guys with is just surround yourself with people who make you feel loved and just make you smile, you know? And if some people gotta go and get cut out of your life, then they gotta go. If someone's not bringing you joy, then they gotta go. I'll talk to you pretty faces in the next one. Bye, guys.